Gentlemen, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. That woman you're losing sleep over, the one you've built up in your mind as some rare, untouchable goddess, she's not that special. I know. Your heart's pounding, your palms are sweaty, and you're convinced she's 1 in a billion. But here's the cold, hard truth that'll set you free. Half the people walking this earth, 50% of the 8 billion souls alive today, are women. That's 4 billion of them, my friend. So the idea that she's the only one worth your time? It's a fantasy you've got to ditch, fast. She's not a unicorn. She's a human being who wakes up, stumbles to the bathroom, and goes through the same mundane routines as everyone else. The sooner you rip her off that pedestal, the sooner you'll stop tripping over yourself trying to impress her and start living a life that actually matters. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to trash women or tell you they're unimportant. Far from it. What I'm saying is this: the more you inflate her value in your head, the more you deflate your own. And that's where the real problem begins. You're out here fumbling your words, overanalyzing every text, and bending over backwards for someone who, let's be real, probably isn't losing a wink of sleep over you. Meanwhile, there are millions of other women out there, some prettier, some smarter, some just as captivating, who you haven't even met yet. They're not in your phone contacts, sure, but they exist. So why waste your energy chasing one fleeting spark when you could be building a wildfire of a life that draws them to you instead? Let me paint you a picture of how I roll and why it works. I'm a 4-time kickboxing world champion, a multi-millionaire, a man who's carved out a life most only dream of. I don't say this to brag. I say it because it's a fact that shapes how I move through the world. When I walk into a room, I carry a price tag so high that even the most stunning woman knows I'm not the guy who's going to blow up her phone with desperate texts. I'm not the dude she can call at 2 a.m. for a ride or a shoulder to cry on. I've got too much going on, too much purpose, too much drive to play that game. And here's the kicker. That's exactly why I've never struggled with women. I don't chase them. I don't need to. I focus on me, my goals, my grind, my empire. And they show up as a bonus, not the main event. Contrast that with the so-called game gurus out there peddling their pickup lines and day game nonsense. You know the type, telling you to run around malls, hitting on 1,000 girls just to scrape together 5 phone numbers and maybe one date with someone who'd say yes to half the guys in the room anyway. That's not a strategy. That's a circus act for clowns. Imagine this. Instead of stacking cash, hitting the gym, or sharpening your mind, you're wasting your prime years memorizing scripts and chasing skirts in a food court. That's not winning. That's losing with extra steps. I'd rather spend my time becoming a man of value than begging for scraps of attention from someone who doesn't even know my worth. Here's the secret they won't tell you. Women aren't the prize, you are. Stop treating them like the finish line and start treating yourself like the race. Get your act together, your money, your body, your mind, and watch how the script flips. When you're a high-value man, you don't need to game anyone. You don't need a playbook to trick someone into liking you. You just show up, unapologetically yourself, and the right ones stick around. The rest? They're irrelevant. Focus on climbing to the top of your own mountain, and the view, including the women who'll want to share it, will take care of itself. But let's break this down further, because I want you to walk away from this with more than just a pep talk. There's a science to this, a method to the madness that separates the men who thrive from the boys who stumble. And it starts with understanding what you can control and what you can't. Take timing, for example. Some women are open for business, ready to connect, vibe, and see where things go. Others, their stores closed, lights off, doors locked. Maybe she's got a boyfriend. Maybe she's just not feeling it. Or maybe she's talking to a guy like me, a real G with more assets, more swagger, and more game than you can match on your best day. That's not a dig. It's just reality. Sometimes you're outclassed, and no amount of smooth talk will change that. It's like stepping into the ring with a champ when you've barely laced up your gloves. Sometimes the gap is just too wide. So what do you do when you're outgunned? You don't grovel. You don't beg. You don't cling to some delusional hope that she'll come around if you just try harder. That's a one-way ticket to losing her respect, and your own. Instead, you keep your dignity intact. You walk away with your head high, knowing you've got other options and bigger battles to fight. Maybe you circle back in 8 months when the stars align differently, or maybe you move on to someone else entirely. The point is, desperation is a stench no cologne can cover. If you sense she's slipping away, don't claw at the scraps. Cut your losses and protect your honor. Because once she sees you as a beggar, you're done. Not just with her, but with any shot at self-respect. Now, let's flip the coin. What can you control? Plenty. Your body language, for one. Stand tall, move with purpose, own the space you're in. Your style. Dress sharp, not to impress her, but to reflect your own standards. Your confidence. Speak like you mean it. Decide like you know it. Lead like it's second nature. These are the tools in your arsenal, the levers you can pull to shift the odds in your favor. But here's where I part ways with the game crowd. I'm not about to hand you a script or a step-by-step playbook. Why? Because you're not me. I could tell you to mimic my every word, my every move, and it'd still fall flat. We're different. Different builds, different vibes, different souls. What works for me, a battle-tested champ with a fortune to match, won't work for you unless it's yours. Authenticity isn't just a buzzword. It's the only currency that holds weight in the long run. Think about it like this. If I tried to teach you to fight by copying my every punch, you'd still get knocked out. Why? Because your body's not mine. Your rhythm's not mine. The same goes for women. Every interaction is a new arena. Different moods, different settings, different stakes. One day it's raining, the next it's sunny. One moment she's laughing, the next she's distracted. You can't script that. Anyone who says do X, then Y, then Z, and she's yours is either delusional or trying to sell you something. Life's too messy, too dynamic for a one-size-fits-all fix. The only constant is you, your core, your confidence, your ability to adapt without losing who you are. So what's the play? Be yourself, but be the best version of yourself. Not some timid, wishy-washy shadow, but a man who knows his worth and owns it. Confidence isn't about being loud or cocky, it's about certainty. When you pick her up, don't ask, "Where do you want to go?" You say, "We're going here." Lead the charge, set the tone, take her on a ride she didn't even know she wanted. Women don't want to call the shots. They want to be swept up in your world, entertained, not burdened with decisions. Even if you pick a dive bar and she wrinkles her nose, stick to your guns. "I like it," you say, and mean it. That's power. That's presence. That's what separates the men who get what they want from the ones who settle for leftovers. Let me level with you. I don't even try half the time. I roll up unshaven, hair a mess, wearing whatever I threw on 2 days ago, and it works. Why? Because I know who I am. I'm the guy who's fought for titles, built a fortune, and carved a legacy. I don't need to prove anything. I just show up, talk my talk, and let the chips fall. You don't need my resume to pull that off. You just need to believe you're the man too. Whether you're a mechanic, a student, or a CEO, own it. Walk like you've got nothing to lose because you don't. She's not the prize, you are. And when you carry yourself like that, the results speak for themselves. But this isn't just about women, it's about life. If you want to win, really win, you've got to get serious. Life's not a game show, it's a battlefield. The stakes are high, your future, your family, your legacy, and the clock's ticking. You can coast through, half-assing it, or you can grab the reins and make this your year. Get smart. Learn from your wins, your losses, your screw-ups. Don't just hear advice, absorb it, wrestle with it, make it yours. A bad week isn't a death sentence. It's a classroom. Sit with it, dissect it, figure out what went wrong, and build a better one. Knowledge isn't power until you use it. So stop being lazy with your learning. The difference between the guy who's got it all and the guy who's still scraping by, it's not luck. It's what they do with what they know. And then, get going. Action trumps intention every time. You can dream about a better life, a better you, but if you don't move, it's just noise. Start small, hit the gym, stack some cash, read a book, but start. Discipline isn't sexy until it pays off, and it always pays off. Neglect the little things, and the big things will never come. Life doesn't hand you the keys to the kingdom because you could or should. It rewards the ones who do. So roll up your sleeves, set a better sail, and turn the wind, good or bad, into your advantage. The economy's rough? Tough. Your past is messy? So what? You've got what you've got. Make it work. Value yourself first, and the world adjusts. Women, money, respect. They follow when you lead your own life with purpose. Stop chasing shadows and start building substance. You've got one shot at this. Don't waste it groveling for approval you don't need. Be the man you'd admire and watch how the pieces fall into place. Now, I want to hear from you. What's holding you back? What's one step you're going to take today to level up? Drop it in the comments. I'm reading everyone. Share this with a friend who needs to hear it, and hit that follow button for more no BS truth bombs. We're just getting started, and I've got plenty more coming your way. Next up, how to keep the women you attract, not just catch them. Stick around, because this is your wake-up call to stop playing small and start winning big. Let's go.